Hello there, I'm Artistic Gamer 7 and welcome back to some more of my D&D Mansion build. If you have not seen the two previous parts, there is a link down in the description to take you straight to the first part or to the playlist so that you can select which part that you need to start back with. So those options are down in the description below. I also am going to have the playlist to my D&D characters cast series that I am doing alongside this at this point because the characters eventually will be tossed into this house. Now, if you're familiar with this, or you just need a little bit of a refresher, I am building this big, ginormous mansion house thing for my creations that I make in my D&D characters series, where I am taking my D&D characters that I've made and created and drawn out and turning them into Sims the best that I can with how I would envision them to potentially look in Sims. And I'm going to be sticking all of them, well, not all of them technically at this point because I came up with more, but the majority of them into this house and actually see sort of what happens. I'm going to be rolling a d20 every morning for each character and basically seeing how much access they have to stuff throughout the day. So, you know, they might get stuck in just their room for all we know, or they can have access to the whole entire house. Or when the weekend comes, I think I'm going to do like a special thing where they all go out, and anyone who rolled anything like a nat 1 throughout the week cannot go on the weekend trip, and potentially stuff maybe like below a 3 in general, depending. So yeah, still sort of working that part out. But yeah, so this is the house that they're going to be staying in. This is part 3. Part 1 and 2, as a refresher, was me building obviously the house, the overall structure of the house. 2 was doing more of the decoration on the outside. 3 here is going to be a lot of the layout, and then towards the end I actually work on 2 of the rooms that are down in the basement. So with the layouts, sometimes I actually cut out the layout, but since I am doing this one, like this build the way I am doing it, I decided to leave the layout in. Because, you know, I feel like sometimes people may want to see how layouts are done and see the whole process. I actually think I did cut out part of the layout, and you'll see me going back and deleting some of the walls from upstairs. That's because when I first started this, I tried putting a basement, and it originally wasn't letting me put a basement in. And I was like, oh no, I'm going to have to fit all 26 rooms upstairs. And so I was like, I changed a little bit of the outside, just a tiny bit, because I was originally trying to make room up on the first 2 floors for all 26 rooms, but then I was like, but I really wanted to have activity rooms so that I can lock them in or out of them as like a reward for rolling high or low. So I was like, I really, really need a basement level. I need probably 2 basement levels. Why? Why can't I put a basement? And I found a little way around it. I think it has something to do with the platforms, but I ended up making the basement in the sections where I didn't have any platforms at all, and then sort of moving it and expanding it from there. Because once I got a basement down there, it started letting me put it underneath the house. So it's really strange that you can't just put it underneath the platforms anyway, and the stairs just adjust to the height of the platforms. I don't really quite know if that's the issue. But the stairs that I have going down to the basement, I actually purposely made sure that they were hitting like the normal typical level for a house if it didn't have the platforms on it. But you know, it does account for when you have foundations and stuff, so it really confused me why the platforms. I don't know if maybe it's because I had multiple levels of platforms, but yeah, I made sure that room actually was like done in a certain way that even if the staircase would have worked no matter what, I was just double making sure that the staircase was going to work no matter what. So yeah, there are 2 basement levels. I'm actually considering putting a 3rd one in because, 1, I have created more characters since then. I don't want to fill this house too much more, so the amount of characters that I have created since I started doing this build, I will not be probably putting all of them in. I might do a thing where people get to maybe see some of the rest of the drawings that I have, because I'm currently also drawing these new characters. I've already got 2 of them done, and I'm starting on the 3rd one. So I might just show the characters, like, maybe over on my Twitter or whatever, and see which ones maybe people would want to most see be turned into Sims, and take those ones, and those are the ones that get the free spots in the house, because I already have 2 extra spots, because I talked about it in the last part. I technically made 2 extra rooms down in the basement section, because I had 26 characters created and, like, came up with when I first started this, and I put 28 rooms. So technically I can already go ahead and fit 2 of those characters, and depending on how I do, I'm pretty sure I can do up to 4 basement levels. I don't think I'm going to do 4. I think I'm just going to do a 3rd one. But I actually, like, thinking, if I'm going to have, like, activity rooms and stuff like that, I want there to be more options for activity rooms, more rooms to lock them out of. One, I really don't want to put the kitchen as one of them unless, like, they get a really, really bad roll, because of the fact that they just need to eat and stuff like that, so I don't want to put the kitchen. So preferably that would be one room that I would not really put into the lock off section. Also, I don't really, in reality, because I had to make so many of them bedrooms, there's not too many rooms to do activity rooms. I'm gonna have some spas, I have a gym, I have technically a natural hot springs section in there, and such, and like a shower going into it, and I have a laundry room. But then after that, I think it's only going to be the living room, the kitchen, the dining room, the entryway, and then a bunch of bathrooms. So that's not really a lot of rooms, like, that are extra, so I am thinking about putting an extra basement area. I would put an area around where the hot spring is, because part of me is imagining that that hot spring is coming up from deep into the earth, so that's why they actually made it where they made it. But maybe in the plans of building this house, they decided to try to go down another level, but they have to basically build around where that natural hot water is coming up, so they can't actually build too close to where that is at, so I probably will put the builds around them. But I am going to probably put some more in the basement, partially because one of the, also the activity rooms, but one of the things I was thinking about, I don't have a pool. I don't have anywhere to put a pool. I can't put it on the outside. I've already used up I already have decided what all the other rooms are going to be. So I can't put a pool, but I'm going to have at least 2 Sims that I know that I'm going to use them, like, make them as mermaids, because it fits for the type of people they are, because they're technically, like, a version of merfolk. So I was like, it really would make sense to have a pool. So I'm going to probably make an underground pool somewhere. In some ways, this build is just not going to be too logical, because, like, if there's a natural hot springs, wouldn't an underground pool probably get easily heated as well if it's close to where this natural hot spring water is coming from? But, you know, we're just going to go with it. This is a build that is mixing fantasy with reality, so we're just gonna go with it. They make sure the pool stays cool. But yeah, so I am going to probably put another 3rd basement level when I go to work on this build again. So just be prepared for a little bit more of a layout past what layout's done in this video, but it's not going to be a big layout, long one, because this is like 2 basement levels and 3 regular, like 3 upstairs levels, versus I'm just going to be doing 1 more basement level, so it won't be like a really long layout section for that video. But in this video, there is a lot of the layout, and the layout was honestly really hard to do, because I was constantly having to be like, what rooms am I going to put down here? How many bedrooms do I still need? I want each bedroom to actually have a closet on it attached to it. I need to make sure I have enough bathrooms, because there's going to be 20-some people in this house, at least. And if they end up having guests come over, there's going to be more than 20-some people in this house. So, I need to make sure that there is enough bathrooms, and basically almost every bathroom needs to have a shower or bathtub of some kind, if not both. So, that was things that I needed to think about. I needed to be like, okay, everyone needs to get to their bedrooms and to these rooms, so there needs to be hallways. There has to be hallways getting through. And because I did, like, the little sort of fountain thing up outside, it actually caused certain areas to where I couldn't actually put a basement because of it. Like, it just really wouldn't let me put a basement. I think it even affected all the way down to the 2nd level. So there was sections that I couldn't put rooms because of that outside feature of the little fountain water pond thing. So yeah, I had to take in consideration when doing that for the downstairs section. So yeah, there was a lot to think about when doing this layout and trying to get things done. I really wish I would have thought about the fact that I probably would have wanted a pool before I fully finished the layout and started actually decorating the rooms. Because now that I've got the rooms decorated, it is going to be very hard to move them, and especially since I have, like, a very particular layout, like this hot springs area here, like, I have a shower room so that they can shower before they go into it, because I think with this, I don't know, maybe it's just in Mount Kohlrabi. Oh, I can't say it. I try, but it just, my mouth cannot say it. But anyway, with the Snowy Escape pack, I think you're supposed to take a shower before you go into one of these, but I don't know if it's just in that world or anywhere where one of these is located. So, one, I just thought it was a better, like, just in case, function-wise, but also, it was sort of nice that maybe this is an area that they make sure to take a shower before they go into this water, so that everyone's not making everyone who's sitting in it sit in dirty water. So, you know, the pool at least is gonna have, like, you would imagine it has cleaners in it, so, like, you know, they're putting pool cleaners and stuff in it, so it's at least cleaning that stuff. This natural hot springs is probably not getting anything added to it for the most part, because, you know, it's a natural hot spring, so, So at this point, as you can see, I am working on the hot spring area, decorating it and setting it up. So I had a lot of fun actually decorating this one quite a bit. I wanted it to seem like they used a lot of stuff considering, like, nature and try to make it look a little bit more older looking in a way. Obviously, you know, they built this room around this and probably set these rocks up in a way that, you know, or chisel away the rest of the rocks for the most part, so that this could be set up if we're going with semi-logic for this. But yeah, so I was just trying to keep sort of a natural, but almost old feel to it. I did put some more rocks around the hot spring itself, just to add some more of those nature elements. And I used a lot of the stuff from, like, Jungle Adventure, and I also used some CC stuff that had, like, flowers and grass. And I was gonna originally try to put, like, a rock bottom, but it just sort of looked a little strange in some ways, so I ended up making, like, a pathway that went to where you would basically enter the hot springs at with rocks and stuff, and I think I used stone for the sides of it as well, but a different type of stone. I think at one point I was considering wood, but I think I didn't use any wood. But yeah, so I was just trying to go for a nature relaxing feel in a way for this whole entire room. I had a lot of fun actually, like, decorating this, and actually I might have actually used wood. I might have changed it to wood. I can't remember. I'm watching myself make all these, like, try to decide this, and I know, like, even I myself watching this can't remember because I forget things so quickly. But yeah, I do know, like, I really liked how this room turned out. Like, I really, really loved how it ended up looking. It looks like it would be a really nice place to relax and just sort of chill. I do put some, like, potted plants in, like, the corners and stuff, and some tables. I put some seating areas, like some seats and stuff like that, because, again, there's going to be a lot of people in this house. I constantly am trying to keep that in mind, that there's going to be a lot of people in this house at one time. And if by chance they do invite people over, or people come over to see them, then there's a chance that there's going to be more people in this room, because obviously the guest will not be locked off from pretty much any of the rooms except for their individual bedrooms, unless I allow them temporarily. Like, if they have a guest, maybe I can allow people to go into their rooms if they have a guest over and such. But yeah, otherwise, guests will have more access to the house than some of the people in the house at the time will have. So, keeping all that in mind, I constantly try to make sure there is enough stuff in each room for Sims to do in full width. So I try to make sure there's extra seating. If it's a workout room, there's extra workout space. If it's, like, the shower room, I make sure that there's more than one shower. Stuff like that. And bathrooms, I have them placed literally everywhere. So constantly I was thinking about the fact that there is going to be a lot of people in this house at one time, no matter what the situation is. So constantly trying to make sure that I have room for all these Sims was constantly on my mind. So yeah, but I think in the long run it's gonna work. I think there's enough things that's gonna be in this house, enough seating for what Sims do decide to be there at that time. So I think we will be all good. But I hope you do like how this room turns out. It's still in the process of being made, but definitely please let me know, because, you know, in this case with this build, it's going to be a little bit slower pace. So, you know, you get to see, you don't get to see, the video's not going to be sped up quite as much, so you get to see a little bit more of the details, and the fact that, you know, I'm taking my time, I'm trying to add, like, little extra details here and there, I'm trying to really focus on that stuff. You can sort of have a look at the room a little bit more so and try to take the room in. So I'd definitely like to know your thoughts on this room. In this video, we will get 2 of the rooms done, which is this and basically the shower room, the room that leads into this one. So that is what's going to be taking place in this video for you to see. But yeah, I would definitely like to know what you think of it. I really love it. I've started getting into placing plants in a lot of places, and part of me especially really annoyed about that, because I grew up in greenhouses, and there's a part of me that likes plants and a part of me that hates plants. I have dealt with greenhouses for 28 years of my life at this point, so plants sometimes annoy me. But at the same time, I think they add a lot of decorative value into a room, and I really like how they actually make things look, especially when you're going for, like, a semi-nature feel, and that's what I was trying to bring nature and stuff into this, even though, you know, it's not outside. That's why, like, I'm putting plants everywhere, I have stones everywhere and stonework, so I was definitely trying to go for that very natural, outside, planty vibe without it being actually outside. So you get the enjoyment of certain aspects of being outside without being outside, which to me seems good, because I actually don't like going outside. I'm much more an inside person. Don't get me wrong, like, I don't mind going outside from time to time, and, like, if I have something, like, to really do outside, I'm good. But a lot of times with my experience when I'm invited or having activities done outside, there's not a whole lot of going on. It's just mainly sitting around and talking, and to me, like, I like talking, but if I'm going to just be talking, I'd rather be inside, where I'm away from bugs and the heat and stuff. I'd just rather be inside if all we're gonna do is talk. And on top of that, in my situations where I'm usually stuck outside for long periods of time, it's usually with family. And, you know, I love my family, don't get me wrong, but I am definitely what would be referred to as the black sheep of the family. I do not fit in with my family. Half of the time when I have family outings, I sit by myself, or I sit beside my dad but don't talk. Like, that's just how I am, and it's not so much like I don't try to talk. It's just gotten to the point that no one ever wants to talk about stuff I'm interested in, and they always expect me to talk about stuff that they're interested in, because what they are interested in is what they consider normal, and what I'm interested in is what they consider not normal. So, yeah. I get very bored and irritated all at the same time very quickly, so I'm just sitting outside listening to people talk when I could be doing other things. So, yeah, me and outside don't get along for a few different reasons, but I don't necessarily always mind it. I liked when, like, I had stuff to do. Like, as a kid, when I'd go outside to actually play, and I was up moving around. Like, if I'm outside, I want to be moving around. I don't want to just be sitting outside. Me and sitting outside just doesn't make sense in my brain. Just sitting there. If I'm outside, I want to be active. I want to be doing something. Walking, jogging, playing basketball. I don't know. Just something. But just sitting outside talking when you could just be inside talking, my brain don't understand. But anyway, back to this build here. So yeah, I hope you like how it looks and sort of like the feel and vibe of this whole room. Would you go and have a little soak in this room if you knew of a little hot spring inside situation that looked like this? Would you like it? Would you find it enjoyable? I think I would. I think I would enjoy it. I hope my Sims enjoy it. Otherwise, they're gonna have to deal. Now, on to the little shower area, basically where they can wash off before they go in the hot spring. If for some reason they want to cool down after coming out of the hot spring, you know, there is that option as well. I do try to keep some of the colors from the hot spring room, you know, where there's like tans and browns. I try to keep that sort of in this room because this room is connected. Originally, I did try a few other things, but ultimately in the end I kept with the browns and the creams and the tans. That's one of my favorite color schemes when it comes to doing rooms where multiple people are going to be in, because, you know, when it's a room that's not an individual person's room, I tend to like it be more neutral in a certain aspect, because, you know, most likely a lot of people at least could tolerate that a little bit more than if it's like crazy decorated colors all over the place. But also sometimes it just depends on the Sims. Since this house is literally multiple people in it and not one person is single responsible for the decoration of the house, I definitely was going more for neutral in this situation, though I end up doing like blues in the gym. So it's just sort of varying. I don't want to use the same color scheme for every room, and I definitely don't do that with the bathrooms. Since, you know, this was going to be the first time where I'm not cutting out the bathrooms, I try to make every bathroom unique. So that was sort of fun to do. Like, it's been fun actually in a way doing the bathrooms, because I've been trying my hardest to make each bathroom different and unique. So it's been sort of fun doing the bathrooms that way, because they've all got their own little style and charm to them. So that's been sort of fun. But like, as you can see, I am sticking with the browns here. I do try to find, it like took me a while to find like that grate looking like thing, because I wanted to imagine there's somewhere that the water is going. Like, you know, the plumbing system or whatever. So I do add those just as like a little tiny detail. Plus, you know, when you add decorations and stuff, sometimes it can help the Sim actually feel in a better mood, because they're like, ooh, it's decorated. Yay. That's nice. And I do some decoration also in there, just, again, for, you know, the Sims to feel a little bit more happy. Like, it's like, oh, yay, this is decorated nicely. So I do add some more decorations. I have, like, some plants that I add and stuff like that against the other wall. Now, you do see that there are 3 doors attached to this room. Obviously, one is the hot tub, the hot spring area. One is a full-on bathroom, so for Sims who maybe want a little bit more privacy when taking a shower, there's that option. There's also a toilet in there, so, you know, if they just can't make it to one of the other bathrooms, that option's there. The other door is going to go into the gym area, which is another good reason to have a bathroom sort of close by. So that is the gym area. So there is a gym attached to this room as well. Again, another good reason to have showers. I thought the showers being connected to these two were good, for the fact that the one is to make sure that you're not dirty when going in. The other one, you know, you could go shower real quickly right after a workout. So that's the rooms that are connected to this shower space. Now, there is technically hallways and stuff close by, but there is no way to get to those hallways from this area, if you've noticed from when I was doing the layouts. And sometimes the layouts get a little confusing, because of how I had to do it. I had to try to make sure there was hallways everywhere, so that Sims could get to their rooms without having to walk through other people's bedrooms, or through the gym to get to their room, or whatever, you know, stuff like that. So, hallways everywhere. Now, this video is going to be wrapping up pretty soon, so finishing off this little shower room here, and then the video's ending. In the next episode, or next part of this, the gym and the saunas will definitely be a part of it, and then potentially some of the hallway stuff also will be on there, and maybe the start of a lot of the bathrooms, because I start decorating the bathrooms, like, all together. So it may be the start of all those. I hope you're enjoying this video, or I hope you like this video and enjoying the series. That's better put. If so, please hit that lovely like button. Make sure you subscribe so that you don't miss out on the next part of this and see, like, the whole thing be created. Also, you know, I'm having my D&D character series that are going to be the Sims who eventually live in this house. So definitely go check that series out so that you can see the Sims being created. And feel free to discuss the house so far in the comments below. What things do you hope to see in this house? Are there certain characters that you've already been seeing in the Kratos series that you're excited to see their bedrooms? Because, you know, I'm really excited to get their bedrooms, but I'm deciding to do their bedrooms last. So yeah, I am excited to get to those, but I have to wait a little bit on those ones. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I'll hopefully see you in the next one. Until then, bye-bye!